Hey everyone, welcome back to Rob's Car World. Today's feature car is a 1972 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. I found this car on Facebook Marketplace. It's in Mississippi. Let's go check this car out. The Lincoln Mark IV, the 1971, was the first year of the new design, and this car came out from 1972, and I think the Mark IV ran all the way through 77, I believe, and then it was replaced by the Lincoln Mark V. The Mark IV and the Mark V, really, with the exception to the Bill Blass editions and special Diamond Jubilee editions and things like that, they really don't have a big attraction in the marketplace. It's not a very appreciating car, and the buying audience is very narrow. So I've owned a few of these because I love the car. I also owned a few of the Mark IIIs. But the Mark IV has been my favorite, especially in 1972, because we're dealing with a one model year only look with the very thin chrome bumpers that were right before 73 when the 5 mile an hour bumpers came out. So this car was like 19, almost 20 feet with the thin bumpers. Once those bigger bumpers came out, very few garages were big enough to get these cars inside. But this car in particular has very thin bumpers with that beautiful waterfall front grille. It's a handmade grille. They spent a lot of money, Lincoln, when they built cars back then. And it's a stunning, stunning car. The car drives much better than the Mark III. The Mark III is a very heavy car. Its presence is very heavy. The response in the steering is very heavy. This car actually handles fairly well for such a very large automobile. It's got the 460 cubic inch engine V8, which is a monster of an engine. The car is extremely reliable. And I believe this year they were doing gross horsepower versus net horsepower. But the gross horsepower on this car is like 365 in that range. And the net horsepower was like 220 or something. But the car with the 4-barrel carburetor really got itself out of its way. And I used to drive this car up and down the New York State Thruway quite often just for the fun of it on business and things like that. So let's get into this car a bit. This feature car is offered by somebody that's on Facebook that does not have a Facebook page. So he's selling the car for a friend. And most of the times when people do that, I'm kind of like, thinking it's a scam, but I don't believe it is. This person's a Facebook member since 2010, and he doesn't really want to be bothered with the sale of the car, so he gave the phone number out in the text here. So when you look at the text, he put the phone number down in a code, where you spell out the word 6 and you put the digit number in. This way, Facebook doesn't catch you. So you could probably give him a message. He might not answer you, but there is the phone number there to get in touch with the owner. So that probably means that the owner is older and he's not a Facebook person, so that's okay. But this car in particular, when you look at the photos, he only gives us 7 photos, and it's pretty hard to critique a car with just 7 photos. But it looks to be an owner, not somebody that's flipping cars, because it has, some information on the car. And I'm going to say that I'm believing that this car might be its original paint and the original vinyl top and everything that goes with originality. And I'll tell you why. When I had my 72, they had these little plates here from the factory. There were little glue-on stickers that was your initials. So you had like an initial kit in the glove box with a glue-on sticker, so you can put the glue-on sticker on your door and put your initials on both doors. It was pretty cool. But they don't age very well. They tend to get yellowish and they dry out with the sun. And if you try to peel it, take it off, and put it on the next paint job, it's going to break in your hands, and you're not going to be able to find these. I don't think anybody has these anywhere. So this car has the pinstripes and also the badging on the side for the initials, which leads me to believe we might be looking at original paint, original vinyl roof, because the interior of the car is very original as well. Now, he's not giving us any photos of the engine bay, nor is he giving anything of the undercarriage. The rear of the car looks fantastic. I don't see any bubbling in the vinyl roof. All the chrome work looks nice. The mismatching here with the rear fender line with the trunk, that was OEM stuff. I mean, That could just mean there's like little spaces in there, rubber spaces. Just move them up a little bit, and you can get that to align a little better. But I don't believe this car was hit or crashed. But that's just my guess from the photos. And then the other side of the car looks fantastic. The rear quarter panels look mint, and nice little chrome tips on the exhaust. The original wheel covers that came with the car. A very sturdy looking B-pillar. It doesn't look like it's rusty or anything like that. I don't see any dings or dents on the car from the photographs. I mean, when you get up and close. So if the car's engine bay is as nice as the outside of the car, this car, he's asking $12,900, which is a lot of money, and we'll go into that in a little while. The inside of the car is very original. You know, this mat here where your feet go in, this wheel well, this is like a rubber mat that you put in a bathtub, and they bond it to the shag carpet at the time. And with time, it gets rubbed off, and the actual, you know, this is just dyed color, and the color ends up leaving, and you get this white color. So this is a very original mat on the car, which I like to see because at least I know the interior is original. The shag carpet will come out very nice if you give it a bath, and you can get floor carpets to cover this to make it look a little better. The front seats look decent for its year, and maybe just a little cleaning make this a little better. The door panels here, where the door moldings are, where the hinges are and all, leads me to believe it's the original color. Looks like he has an 8-track player in there or some type of stereo, and he put gauges in, which people did back in those days because you only had lights on the car. Again, a nice close-up of the steering wheel. This doesn't look, you know, chaffed or broken or splintered. Steering wheel looks very nice. It's all plastic. There's no wood, but it is very pretty. The rear seats look fabulous, which you would expect to see. Again, these are the original mats, I believe. So he's got the original mats in this car. Again, that's why you're seeing that white coming through. These mats have aged with time. And then you can see the striker plate here with the door slams. Doesn't look like it's been repainted. It looks like it's fairly original. The rubber strippings on the side here look very good shape. So leads me to believe that the vinyl top might be as nice as it looks. So I like this car a lot. When I looked at the price, $12,900 is a lot of money. I went to Bring a Trailer, which is kind of like a go-to place, and I did find a 72 Lincoln Mark IV that was sold for $11,000 in 2021. It has 98,000 miles or 92,000 miles. The car that we're looking at has 68,000 miles. But what makes this car on Bring a Trailer spectacular is that the engine bay is very well detailed, and the interior of the car is very nice as well. So you can see how nice the interior is. We'll go up to the interior. The interior looks very nice. You know, no rips or tears. You know, it actually looks very original. And these mats here are aftermarket mats, I believe. But he also put a carpeting in this car because this does not have the shag carpet. And I believe the shag carpet was original in 1972. So he restored the inside of this car. But it is a very nice looking car. Has more miles than the subject car that we're thinking of. And the subject car that we have tonight doesn't have photos of the engine bay or the undercarriage. So without looking at this car on Marketplace, I would say I probably are thinking more in the $8,000 price range than $12,900. He's asking $12,900. I'd probably be at $8,000, and that's assuming that the engine bay looks really nice and original and the undercarriage is no rust. So we have some distance between what he's looking to get and what I'm looking to buy, right? But the buying audience for this car and also other Mark IVs or the other generations, even Mark Vs, the buying audience, especially if it's not like a Diamond Jubilee edition Mark V or a Bill Blass edition Mark IV in the later years. So it doesn't really have a lot of appreciation, so to speak. And they're difficult cars and expensive cars to restore, so you want to try to find something that's really as nice as this one. So these are all the reasons why I tried to be at $8,000, not $12,900. But I would go there and look at this car, and I'd probably go up to $9,000. And if he didn't accept that money, I would just wait on it and just stay in touch with the seller. And I'm sure January, February, March, he's still going to have this car because, again, the buying audience for this car is very, very narrow. So that's it. So thank you for joining me tonight. If you'd like to become a subscriber on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel and please give a thumbs up as well. I also started a Patreon membership where you can join a Patreon and get some extra benefits like having me come out and look at cars that you may be interested in buying. So we'll talk about that in another video. And what I'll do is I'll leave the slide up so you can see where this car is when you do your research. And that's it. So there it is, a 1972 Lincoln Mark IV with its thin, beautiful bumpers. And it's just such a classic look. I think if any Mark IV of that generation is going to sustain some appreciation or at least not drop in any value, it's going to be the 72 with the very thin chrome line bumpers. This is Rob Loaf Reese. Thanks for joining me on Rob's Car World. We'll see you here.